Now I want to call on Cilla Hegarty. Cilla is also an entrepreneur. She's a serial entrepreneur, and Aaron is here also. Can I say that Cilla founded New Zealand Tax Refunds in 2008, and under her leadership it has become one of the fastest growing companies in New Zealand. Cilla, I wanted to give the statistics as to how fast you were growing year on year, and then I realised it was probably commercial in confidence. But of course this conference I don't think is subject to the Official Information Act. You're also founder and managing director of accounting company New Zealand Accountant. You were Her and Next Businesswoman of the Year. You've just done an enormous amount. Well done. Come and take the stand.
Thank you, Mai, and good afternoon. As Mai said, I'm Cilla Hegarty. I'm the founder and CEO of NZ Tax Refunds. One of the most common questions I get asked is, what is your experience of working with the government like? And it's obviously we have close dealings with them. So NZ Tax Refunds is one of New Zealand's largest online tax refund agents. We obtain tax refunds from the Inland Revenue on behalf of our clients and have been doing so since our formation in 2008. And as you can all probably imagine, a number of my team are in communication with the Inland Revenue Department on a daily basis in a variety of manners. I'll answer the question about how we deal with the government with a story from the Christchurch earthquake. In February, we were really fortunate that our building was not severely damaged. In contrast, hundreds of IRD staff had to be relocated as their building was in the red zone, and as we all now know, it's to come down. We offered to help. Around 20 IRD staff joined us for the next 3 or 4 months. It was a real pleasure helping out. Many other Christchurch businesses had their business partners and customers in a similar way helping to keep things going. The experience really highlighted how genuinely constructive our working relationship with the IRD was. So, how did we go from being a start-up to having a good working relationship in a relatively short space of time? I'd like to say it wasn't easy working out the best way to connect, and it did take a few false starts and a lot of effort on both sides. But the more we worked with the IRD and the more they got to know our business and our industry and our ethics, the better the relationship became. We went through a stage of terse letters on compliance matters and the IRD's internal messaging being less than robust. Some less reputable operators in this industry poisoned the well, and IRD's frontline staff reflected this. A real step change came in the relationship occurred in the late 2009 when I got together with some of the other reputable online tax refund agencies and set up OTANZ, which is the Online Tax Agents Association of New Zealand. We wanted to give the government the confidence that when they were dealing with us, they were dealing with the good guys. We then set out about building our relationships with the IRD's senior management and with the Minister with the help of Chen Palmer, and thank you, Mai, enormously for that. The first step was simply to ask for meetings, explain our problems and get some feedback. This approach worked really well as it resulted in some very constructive dialogue. Since those first meetings, the relationship has gone from strength to strength. We have great lines of communication and we've found our areas of common interest. Rather than telling us what we can't do, the IRD asks us now what they can do to help. We work together to really understand what each other's pain points are and how we can work around those points to further our shared interest. I must give credit where credit is due. The Inland Revenue Department is great to work with. The IRD have seen the real value of the relationship with OTANZ and works well with us. We can always pick up the phone and talk to IRD officials, and they know that they can do the same in reverse. Since we've started working closely with the IRD, we know that their internal messaging about us has shifted too. Now staff have an accurate view of our service and understand our value alongside the IRD. The IRD's priority is to preserve the integrity of the tax system. That's a legal duty imposed on them by the Tax Administration Act, and our priority is to provide a great service to our customers. Those two priorities aren't exclusive. Getting customers the refunds to which they're legally entitled is wholly consistent with preserving the integrity of the tax system. It's important that both business and the government are upfront about their priorities when working with each other so that there are no surprises. And it means that business has to understand the legal obligations of whatever arm of the government they're dealing with. NZ Tax Refunds and OTANZ have gained enormous value from the time and energy we invested in building the relationship with the government. Businesses have an enormous amount to gain from successfully interfacing with the government and vice versa. And certainly from our experience, understanding how best to interact is the key to making this happen. Thank you.